All right, here we are for round 4, currently 2-1, hoping to get in at least making your fee back money. We're on the draw. We had a couple successful combos. I think the deck is good. I think it has some very soft matchups, but I do think it's good against specifically Stompy, and it looked like it wasn't too shabby against the Monarch version of Boros. Maybe we're a little faster, but I managed to. I mean, that's the problem I talked about when I made those deck videos, is being able to take the Monarch from that deck is pretty good. I actually don't think that's a good matchup now that I think about it just for a second longer, simply because they have so much removal. I don't think this hand is particularly good, especially on the blind draw. Sure, we have our mana and we have a Presence of God and a Journey and a Bodyguard, but we're not really doing a whole lot else. So I think we're good to mulligan here, and I think this hand's a little better, and we'll keep our land on the top. So we'll go turn 1 Blossoming Sands, turn 2. Is this going to be another Boros match? I don't know. That's crazy. 3 Boros? So yeah, let's Sands. If this is Boros, then I feel okay because we have the Bodyguard and the Journey and the Midnight Guard, and we're just really looking for a Presence of Gone now, which was, of course, in our first hand. No, this looks more like a... I don't know. It could still be Affinity. It could still be Boros. Hard to tell off Great Furnace, Prof Prism. There's another Soul's Attendant, so I wonder if it's worth it to go Soul's Attendant, Soul's Attendant. That actually doesn't seem too bad. And then we have some stuff going on. And then next turn we can Journey their turn 3 play, which if it's Core Skyfish, I'll be pretty happy about. Yes. But then this sets us up so that our Sin's Enlistment is a little bit more powerful. But I still don't want to play Bodyguard onto an empty board state. If it's Affinity, it's probably a little better because they maybe only have Galvanic Blast main deck. I know some Affinity decks are main decking Bolts. No, it's definitely Affinity. That clears it right up. So we'll be saving this Journey for Atog. Always yes, always yield. I'm actually not sure how this matchup is. It seems like it's probably not very good, simply because we're pretty slow. If they go Atog here, though, I'll be pretty happy because then I can Journey it. Draw a tap land, Journey, and Atog. That would be my ideal next turn. All right, well, that's fine. That's what I want. Well, I'm going to have to settle for Journeying a Mirror Enforcer, it looks like. Ugh, brutal. I just simply don't want that big bruiser hanging out. Huh. This is not the best Affinity start. Okay, they are the deck that maybe has 3 main deck bolts, which I like them in the sideboard. I think main deck, you maybe want to be a little bit more conducive to your strategy. This is probably Carapace Forger, Thoughtcast. They definitely want the colored mana. Yeah, Carapace Forger. Yes. So we'll get to play out our Soul Warden next turn. Holdout Settlement. So Soul Warden and Benevolent Bodyguard, maybe? I think we want to play Benevolent Bodyguard here, so if we draw Gond, we can play the guard. Also, the life's not nothing. And I think if you're the opponent, you try and kill Soul Warden anyway. They went after our other Soul's Attendants pretty aggressively. But we simply can't go off until we get Presence of Gond. You know, that's the nature of the deck as a whole. But also, I really don't just want to play it just lose the Bodyguard and then get the Bodyguard killed. And then just have a naked Midnight Guard with no combo. Yeah, Thoughtcast is pretty strong here. I don't think we really have a sideboard to beat Affinity. I think we just have to hope that the life gains enough. But yeah, we're just gonna eat 6 here, fortunately. See what our opponent does. Star, sure. They're going to cycle the star? I think they're missing yeah, they missed a land draw. Oh, crap. Well, stick a fork in me. Let's go ahead and journey targeting the Mirror Enforcer because that reduces the affinity count. I'm not planning on blocking, so I will go ahead and attack. This also stinks because our prismatic strands are a lot less good against this deck, simply because they have so many artifacts, and I cannot name artifacts with strands. Very good in the fact that if I have one, it's difficult for them to fling combo me, though. So that is definitely something to think about. Really hoping we draw a land here so I can play Sin's Enlistment. I think that would be ideal. That would create 2 blockers for us and gain us 2 life. So it would save a lot of life in the long run. Because we're not winning this race. Clearly, 2 power versus 6. Playing against all my favorite decks today. Affinity, Boros. Won't say too much about blue-black control. That's not really my jam. Cycling for a red is interesting. I guess with the Prism, it doesn't really matter. And bolting that, sure. I think I have to be okay with that, I think. Yeah, I mean, we've gotten 4 removal spells out of their hand, but it doesn't look very good for us. There's another bodyguard. I mean, I guess it's not nothing. But really, we needed to draw another land or that other card that we need. So at this point, I'm just going to take it. If they have double Galvanic Blast or Bolt Get Blast, they'll just kill us, but there's not a lot I can do. And then, of course, we draw Celestial Sanctuary. So let's go ahead and play Midnight Guard. I mean, there's just nothing else we can really do. I think this tips us off a little bit, but it does buy us a turn. Enough time to get the Sin's Enlistment online. And since we only care about 4 mana, I am going to bounce the Blossoming Sands in the hopes that we can get a little bit more life. If they have any removal spell, if they have a burn spell, we're just dead. Thoughtcast makes that pretty likely. So I'm going to have to block a Frogmite and then block here and take 2 and hope they don't have a bolt. Or fling. A fling would kill me. So let's gain a life. I think we should go ahead and attack because our guy's going to untap. And then we'll be able to discard this for another Sin's Enlistment. So really just wing it on a wing and a prayer here. This does help us survive another turn. If my opponent does not have Galvanic Blast, which, of course, there's more in the deck. Let's go ahead and always yield to that. Maybe it would have been worth saving the Soul Warden, but I'm not 100% sure that's accurate. Next turn, we will have to cycle. We'll have to do the Sin's Enlistment again because either we're going to lose to the Galvanic Blast. Yep, and there it is. All right, fair enough. That's Affinity. So in our sideboard, this sideboard is just so poor against Affinity. I mean, I guess Oblivion Ring feels bad. Journey feels bad, but Sin's Enlistment feels worse. And then maybe a Presence and a Midnight Guard. Sure, let's try that. The Oblivion Rings are good for the Affinity hands. Well, they kill Atogs, first of all. The second is that it can hurt their Prophetic Prisms. Strands, Warden, and then a bunch of mana and a Rally the Peasants. I think we keep this. I don't think this is a mulligan. So turn 1 will go Soul Warden, turn 2 will go Soul's Attendant, and then we have Prismatic Strands on turn 3. I mean, like I said, maybe I'm playing this deck totally wrong. Yeah, it's an early Galvanic Blast, sure. I mean, there's just really nothing we can do about that. Presence of Gond is good. So now we're hoping to draw Midnight Guard, and this may be a game where I just want to cycle Prismatic Strands just to get it out of my hand so that I can do some other stuff. Let's see, always yes, always yield. Yeah, sure. There we go. Blossoming Sands. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Strands simply because I can block this germ and kill it, which will be useful because it will turn off Springleaf Drum. Or I can, and I can't play anything next turn anyway unless I draw like, I can't think of the card name. It's called Battle Screech. There we go. I remembered. That also puts this in the yard, which is where I want it for the Atog Fling combo. And I get rid of this so that they can't Springleaf Drum or anything, which it doesn't look like they were doing anyway, but I think it's still definitely worth it. Because Drum is pretty important to this deck. Well, there's Mirror Enforcer, which... Alright, another Presence of Gone, come on. So now I'm going to be taking 5 from this Mirror Enforcer. Yeah, we're getting pretty owned by Affinity. I really need to draw Midnight Guard. That would be just the best draw in my deck because I have the Prismatic Strands to protect it currently. Or an Oblivion Ring, just anything to relieve, something to relieve the pressure. Well, that's not going to work now, I guess. Now we're taking 8 of 2. Oh, man. Just the nut Affinity hand. I've had this hand before, too. It feels great. Prismatic Strands is absolutely useless. Yeah, this is like the hand Prismatic Strands does not beat at all, because we're going to take 12 here, and then I'm going to lose, basically, unless I have something real good up my sleeve. But we're going to take 13, even. Yeah, man, I feel like we were so close this game, and then Affinity is just too fast, so we can't deal with it. And I mean, there's no point in blocking. I'm either going to win. I'm either going to draw something that helps. Yeah, and a third Presence of Gone. Let's go ahead and concede. All right, so we're currently 2-2, and I'll see everybody in round the 5th.